and welcome to NITV podcast. And I am Akinchete Victory, and with me here today is
Kingdom Love.
So today we are going to be going straight into the issue going on between Very Dark Man and Femi Falana and Pals. So currently, after all the rants and bans that Very Dark Man has been doing across the country since, now he has now finally been asked to pay the sum of 500 million naira. So what do you have to say about this?
Well, I would say he actually got what he has been looking for all this
What
while.
he deserves,
Yes, he
actually.
deserves it because I know a lot of the Very Dark Man fans right now they'll be trolling me and everything, but this guy, he comes online, all he does is he drags people, he has no regard for anybody, he does what he wants, forgetting that there is or there are people that can actually take this thing to a different level, just like what Falana did. What's it called?
Yeah,
Falana.
Femi Falana.
Yes. So he actually forgot that there are people that can take and stretch such things to a very large extent. He doesn't know. And this is what he's facing right now. To me, see, right from time, but me, I've been saying this guy has no regard for anybody. He has been doing what he wants. And because of that, everybody see if this guy wakes up tomorrow and say he wants to open a court, Nigerians will follow him.
Sure,
Because yes,
he has a lot of fans.
he has a lot of fans because everybody feel that he's doing the right thing. Yes, he's a human rights activist and all. But if you want to do things like this, you have to have regards for people.
Yeah.
Because if you actually have regards for people, then they would consider you. Imagine now they are asking him to pay 500 million. Where he wants to see 500 million?
He doesn't have such
Una will be followers. Una won't pay 500 million from 500 million naira from him. No. So if he had regard for people, there were people who would have stood up for them to help him, but no, doesn't have anybody.
aside regard, you should look at the caliber of people you deal with. For
Exactly.
that matter, he's defaming a lawyer, a very good lawyer in Nigeria, not just
A
in
prominent
Nigeria.
one.
So you should know that whatever it is you do to defame his character is actually going to come for you.
Definitely.
And now he's asking for 500 million. Where does he want to see it? Someone that just left prison not too long ago. If he doesn't pay this 500 million, maybe he's looking. Most times when the way he behaves, you think maybe he's looking for a means to get back into prison, because I really don't understand
Yes.
all these things he has been
Honestly,
dragging.
no jokes.
Now he has gone to court on this case. Now this case has been closed. They said he should pay 500 million. Now no one even knows the outcome of his case between him and Bobrisky. Only God knows if that is actually going to backfire on him again, or if
Imagine 2 cases on his head. Just
that's
imagine.
going to be a lot. And speaking of this, he called during all these rants, he called Pals gay. He called him gay, and also made reference to one of the songs that Pals sang
Yes.
back in the days, that he was trying to indirectly tell us that he's gay. And that's also another form of defamation on Fowl. If they were to take that to court again, he's actually going to lose and have a big debt to pay.
Apart from the 500 million, which he
Aside
doesn't
that,
have the money to pay. I'm still emphasizing on the you fans, you cannot pay for him. So try to tell him if he's ranting and talking about anybody, you guys should try and caution him. Now they cause him. Now I know they allow him rest. Anything he does, hey, very dark man. They even have to even release a song for him. They were singing, you see hype man say nobody like very dark man or not. So you guys should wanna advise that man. He dark well now, so he life right now will dark for him. I don't know anything. Okay, so
speaking of him calling Fowls gay, speaking of the gay aspect in Africa, based on what I've seen, I feel like there should be rules that bound these people into all these gay acts. I know in America and other places like that,
free.
they are free. Their country allows it and stuff like that. But in Africa here, we were not brought up that way. We don't have such values. But you still see it going on everywhere. You still see guys or girls behaving like guys. It's actually very common with the girls claiming to be tomboys.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually using that as a disguise to get into relationships. And of recent, it has been more rampant than before. You see men getting married. Of recent, I think I saw like 2 men this week getting married, and you see females getting married too. And the most annoying thing that actually makes people to go into this stuff is that when you see lesbian couples, in fact, all of them are always very rich.
Yes, very
to the
rich.
extent that they can cater for themselves. So people just feel like, what's the point of following a man when they can have a lady
and
do
then
this thing for
get all the
them?
money they want.
Exactly. So the issue of being gay in Africa, not just Nigeria, should actually really be looked into.
Yes, it should.
It should really be looked
yes,
into.
it
What do
should.
you have to say about
Well,
this?
what I have to say is that, see, for me personally, the whole gay stuff, right? It's something immoral.
Yeah, very
Yes,
immoral. It's a spirit.
it's a spirit, because I don't know how I would see a man, then I'm having sexual drives and urge towards him. Like, no, you're laughing right now, but it's actually disgusting. Apart from anything, we grew up in a society where we saw all these things, and if you even look deeply into it, you would see that God actually created a man and a woman. He created a man for the woman and the woman for the man. He did not create Adam and Steve. He created Adam and Eve. So right now in Africa, what, like, this thing, they pay me, that's why they talking like this. Right now in Africa, they are trying to emulate or
Yeah,
adopt the Western
culture
culture.
that is not ours.
Do you understand? They are trying to bring in things that are not us, and then because of that, everything is just becoming lawless. No guiding principles. There is nothing that's even people are even coming out. See, there are people that will come out and they will say it obviously that
Yeah,
they
they
are
don't
gay.
care
They don't
anymore. They
care
don't
anymore.
hide. They don't hide it anymore.
Before,
Yeah, it's
uh,
something to be kept hidden because
yes,
when people around you, the way they will judge you alone
alone
is
would
enough for
even
you
make
to.
you.
But now it's something that has become public. People bring it out as pride. The
Yes,
pride. They even have a pride
exactly.
celebration. They do things like this, so they have full support. And when they see that, oh, they are not being supported enough here, some of them even go outside the country and continue. And most of their parents actually have nothing
Mhm.
to do about this. And for instance, like there's this person I saw on TikTok, because I think most of these stuff are actually rampant on
On
TikTok
TikTok,
and
yes.
YouTube. I
Yeah.
saw this should I say a guy or a girl? I don't know. He's a guy though, but
Is
he they had a podcast and they actually interviewed him to ask him this question, and he said he realized he was gay at 4 years old.
is it not the educator guy?
Yeah, the educator. He said he realized he was gay at 4 years old. And people are wondering that why. And he mentioned that he stayed with his mom, grew up
Mm.
with his mom alone. His father was not in the picture. So people feel like the father figure in a family is actually very important, because if his father had been there, maybe this would not have happened. Because as at 6 years old, he already started sleeping with his cousins as
It's
a,
male
yeah,
cousins.
his male cousins, not his
Hmm.
female cousins, as a guy. So growing up now, he has grown up to feel like, as they say, they always feel like they are men, or is it they are women trapped in a
A
man's
man's
body.
body,
That's
yes,
exact.
yes,
That's
yes.
always
They
their
are
phrase.
deceiving
That's
themselves,
what they always
yes.
used to cover up. So it's something that if you grow up to an extent and you feel like, oh, this is the road you want to follow, you can say that's still quite manageable than kids nowadays growing up age 3, age 4 saying
I'm gay.
they are gay, or
I'm
feeling like they are supposed to be females. That's
oh
something that
yes.
really needs to be looked into, and parents too should watch the behaviors of their children, the people they follow, the kind
Yes,
of
the thing,
behaviors they
yes,
portray.
and kind of things we watch. See, right now, one of the things that Western world is using to,
Movies.
yes, it's movies. Now, if you go on Netflix and go to watch other forms of movies, what you would see is every content, down to cartoon, down to you
Yes.
cannot watch any cartoon now that don't have gays in it. That is either a girl and a girl or a guy and a guy. You would see this content, and then our kids are watching it. We are watching it, and then all of a sudden it's like we should just accept, and
Yeah.
we don't tire to every time they talk about them, so let's just accept they are human beings too. But instead of actually telling them, making them know that,
Understand that.
yes, understand that this is not normal. You get, it is not normal. It is something that has to do with it's a mental disorder to me,
Yes.
because
And a spiritual
yes, it's
problem.
spiritual problem. This thing, see, people really need to understand that there is a difference between a guy and a girl.
Yeah. A big difference.
Big difference. Well, I don't know. May God help us in Nigeria.
So I think from this podcast, what we as human beings, what we as parents, and everyone should take home is that we should always learn to filter the kind of movies our children watch, the kind of content our children watch. Always try to educate them growing up
Yes,
to
very
know
important.
what is right and what is wrong. Everybody has different religions, most definitely. But I know Christians and Islam, nobody is actually in support in their tradition or their religion. Nobody's in support of gay acts. So we should always try to groom children up in the right way so that we don't end up giving birth to rubbish,
Yes.
or training.
Giving
people
birth to rubbish.
or training people or training children that will end up being outcast or not wanting to have anything to do with you again. So that brings us to the end of today's podcast. I hope you've been able to take home a lot of lessons and whatever it is that you've been able to get from this podcast. We'll see you same time next week on NITV podcast. Bye for now.
Now.